Good day. So, um, yesterday we did our podcast and we didn't have time to get into the Denver airport because iPad Go 2 takes up, you can talk about it for days and days on end. You can spend an entire day on one scene, on one on one tiny little segment of it, and you could still not get done because that's how overly complex it is. Having said that, I think we'll continue on to the Denver airport before I head to Florida on Monday, um, which uh, which will be like around 8 o'clock at night, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Um, and a long time ago, remember I told you about the Anthem Memorial in Phoenix, where at 11:11 a.m. on 11/11 every year there's these kind of ascending kind of stair-like structures, and at that specific time the light from the sun shines through them, and it shines like a shadow image of an eagle onto the ground, which would be a sight to see during that time. But we know full well that that war memorial isn't dedicated to soldiers. It's dedicated to the false Christ of PedGo 2. And I had an epiphany yesterday. My friend pointed something out that confirms to me that this figure is not Jesus. It is actually a solid confirmation. And there is a large group of people who thought, and I used to be part of that group, who actually thought that that figure was Jesus Christ himself. And that is quite the deception. And it is specifically designed to deceive because his image and his appearance is so Christ like. But at the end of the cartoon, when he comes out of the birth canal and the old earth is essentially a heap of ruins, so that so-called gargoyle on top of him, if you look towards the end of the cartoon, which I've always associated being the same gargoyle as the one in the Denver airport, may not be the case, because if you look carefully at it, that's not a gargoyle. That is a devil. That is Satan. If you look carefully at the image, it doesn't actually look like a gargoyle. So my friend pointing this out really kind of astonished me, because that is significant. If there is an effigy or an image, not an effigy, if there is an idol, so to speak, of a devil on top of the birth canal as he's coming out, who's coming out? The devil's coming out. Fear based, I know. So terrifying. Well, what could I say? It was a tough episode to do because you know how many times I watched that cursed cartoon, and it is cursed and it is malevolent. And I suppose, of course, there is positive things about it as well, um, because there are, of course, universal cycles that will bring upon necessary changes. Perhaps it is a necessity for this to occur. It is just the necessary passages of time. Um, Having said that, it's tough to talk about because you know that this is a this is gonna be a really catastrophic event if it comes to pass. So there's people who think that it should have already happened and it never did. And there's people who think that it's still gonna happen. And I'm one of them. And all I can say is that whichever year it'll be on a blood moon eclipse and it'll be on a full moon. So that's all I know. And I'm pretty confident that it would be by 2024. So I do also want to promote Pierre Sabak. I'm gonna share him down in the comments. If you don't know who Pierre Sabak is, he's an etymology expert and he is brilliant. He's actually conducting an interview in this particular video of a very interesting individual himself, but he goes deep into biblical texts and he knows the proper translations from those ancient languages, from Greek, from Latin, and he translates this stuff in such a way that it makes perfect sense. And he basically concluded the alien intervention in our development from all kinds of ancient texts. It's not just the Bible, there's other stuff he gets into. And his name's Pierre Sabak, and he's a brilliant genius in languages. And I'm going to share him down in the comments. And this interview that he's doing is actually about natural law. So, you know how we discussed that there is no moral relativism, that natural cosmic law is a very real thing, and there really is a real right and wrong. Well, they discussed that, but they discuss it on a very deep level, and I highly recommend you checking it out because I think it's really important. I also befriended this guy. Well, I found this guy on Reddit. It's totally unrelated. Well, I guess it might be. He finds this incredible archival footage of World War One and the turn of the century, and it's colorized and it's in HD, and it's just awesome to look at. And I want to share his channel down below as well because it's just super interesting. I watched a few of his videos yesterday of the Battle of Iwo Jima and how the really good clarity with the HD just makes it that much more vivid and real. Is really interesting to see. Forgot about the Anthem Memorial, so I'll be in Phoenix next month, and I'm hoping to see that memorial. That's why I wanted to mention that. I forgot. Sorry. So it's possible that that memorial didn't exist when I lived in Arizona, and it's relatively new actually. So I think that's about it. So yeah, Saturday night maybe we'll go into the Denver airport, and I'm gonna be in Florida Monday, so I'm not gonna be making videos unless it's about Florida and beaches or something like that. So I'll see you guys later.